Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle, and today we are going to make a whole bunch of one of my favorite colors, Mermaid Magic. And what it is it consists of June Bug by Dead On Plastic and Dip Your Car Bluegill Color Shift. We're going to mix those two together, but I'm also going to play around with it a little bit this time. I'm going to add a little bit of black to darken it up, and then I think I'm also going to add some black flake to it just to give it a little bit extra. So stay tuned. This is going to be kind of an order for someone, and it's a pretty good size order, not huge, but it's a good size order. So it's gonna require some specialty equipment. I'm going to get out the giant 4-cupper. I feel like a lot of people are doing that lately. I know Adam at SDG, he just had this out too. So, but I only use it on special occasions, and this happens to be a pretty big batch, so we're going to go ahead and make a bunch of baits. So stay tuned. So what I was saying was we're going to do a 4-cupper today. I got to get this cup cleaned up a little bit. It's got some crap left over, but we are going to make a whole bunch of 607 swim baits, which you've seen me make on the channel a couple times. And I'm also going to be doing the 3.5-inch core shot grub, but I am not going to be shooting the cores, so it's just going to be the grubs themselves. So I'm pretty sure I've done this on the channel before. If not, I guess this will be a new one. But it's an awesome mold. It does have core shot capability, but like I said, I have the pins out right now, and we're just going to shoot it as is. So I can only do 6 of these at a time. I only have 1 of these molds. But the 607 swim baits, I have 3 of those now. So I can actually do 12 at a time with the 607s. I make a lot of these, so I figured I better have some more of these to go. So I may end up buying another one of these core shot grubs at some point, and that way I can do 12 of those as well. So we have to get ourselves 4 cups of plastic. And I don't know if I'm going to do the whole 4 cups. I guess I'll be close, probably be like 3.5 or so. But the first thing we got to do is stir this up. And this is a medium blend plastic. It's actually a bunch of plastics that I had that I basically put together. So it's a little bit of Dead On, a little bit of bait plastics, a little bit of everything. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to set you guys down for a second. We're just going to see the floor here for a brief second. But as always, I'm using a 20-volt drill, just a cordless drill, and I am stirring up the plastic. You see it blending right there. Like I said, this is like a medium grade. It's a little bit softer than swim bait plastic, not real heavy, but it's a perfect blend for 607s, and it's probably a little bit, I'd say a little bit above medium. So it's a little under swim bait blend, and it's around the medium around there. Let's get this mixed up and get our 4 cups. We have almost 4 cups of plastic heated up, and it's about 3.5, but I think after it's been in the microwave, it's expanded quite a bit. I'm going to knock down a few of the air bubbles, because when I put this in the degassing chamber, it's going to be trouble, and we're going to add a bunch more to it anyway. So I'm going to start by adding the June Bug, okay, Dead On Plastic's June Bug, and then we'll add some black, and then we'll add the Bluegill Color Shift, and then we'll add the glitter last. So let's go ahead and just do an ample amount of purple here, June Bug. Let's see what we get with that. And the reason I like this June Bug so much is because it's like a blue purple, and I love the blue in this purple, the way it comes out. So here's that blue, and it's like a blue base. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do, let's see how, yeah, that's good. Right there, I like that. Then what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of black in it. Not a ton, but just enough to darken it up just a little bit. So let's do like 5 drops. Start off with 5. Let's see what that does. Say we just want to darken it up just a touch. I want this a little bit dark. Okay, well, it darkened it up a lot, but it's still blue. It's still blue. It's actually pretty perfect. It looks, I'm sure it looks dark on the camera. Hard for you guys to tell, I'm sure. But it's not bad. Let's start with that, color-wise. Let's go ahead and add the bluegill color shift. I'll show you what this does. And I usually add a small scooper of this, but I think we're gonna have to go ahead and add a bigger scooper of this because there's a lot of plastic here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a heaping scoop with the dash spoon. Let's see what that gives us. We may have to add more. There's that color shift right there, guys. Amazing. And it kind of goes to a green color shift. Yeah, there it goes. So let's get this mixed up real good. There's that green color shift. It's already in there. That might be enough. Oh yeah, that's enough. That's plenty. Okay, so it's a blue, but I darkened it up, so it's like kind of a darker blue with the color shift. That's actually going to be pretty awesome. So I think we're good with that. So just one heaving scoop of bluegill color shift with the dash spoon. Okay. Then the last thing we're going to do is do a heaping scoop of 0.035 glitter. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 scoops in, because that's probably not going to be that much for this big batch of plastic. I might have to put in some more black flake actually. Let's see. Can't tell, there's so much glitter stuck to the knife. I may have to just put some together here and then put some on the table and see what it looks like. Okay, well, it's got the color shift that I want. It's got enough glitter in it, as long as that was enough out of my thing. I don't want to oversaturate it with glitter. I just want to put enough into it just to give it a little bit of effect. So I think that's good right there. So let me go ahead off camera here and I got to get some more of these air bubbles knocked down. And I'm going to have to heat this up again, I'm sure. But I'm also going to have to put this in the degassing chamber, and it's going to take a while, because it's going to try to overflow on me, and I really don't want to deal with that today either. So let's go ahead and do that, and when we're ready to start putting some of this plastic into the molds, we'll come back and I'll shoot them, and we'll see how we make out. I wanted to get this up to the light, kind of show you guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the color shift that well. Maybe if I can hold it still enough and get a little bit of an angle on it. But it's got that green color shift to it. Really awesome. It's really hard to see on camera. But when we get done, I'll do some pictures maybe on some white background, and you'll be able to see that a lot better. So let's go ahead and get these things ready. So we are ready. I had a disaster in the vacuum chamber, cleaned it up, got it all melted back down again, and I think we're ready. Now, this one calls for some specialty equipment. I got the big, I'm not even sure if this is a 10-ounce injector. I think it's a 10-ounce. But we're going to go ahead and use this big old bad boy. It's an N2. One I got off a buddy of mine. It's a great injector. So we're going to go ahead and draw up all this plastic, bleed it off. So I'm sure there's air in there. And we're going to go ahead and hit these one at a time. And you have to excuse me because I have this injector just barely fits underneath the hood of my my air box, so it's a tight fit. But I'm going to try to get all these injected with you guys here. And again, this is going to be the first round. We're going to have to do a couple more rounds. I'm going to fill these up, top these sprues off. Well, this is actually out, so I'm going to have to use the big old 4-cup. Those cool, set up, and I will be back. We'll demold those, and then we'll move on to the next batch. But I'm not sure if we're going to keep going with these off camera, on camera. I'm not sure yet. Probably off camera, but we'll come back and demold these. All right, I wasn't paying attention, but I think we're ready to demold these. They sucked in a little bit of air. But let's just see how we did. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to have to do some shots on these so you guys can see, but I don't see any air bubbles. Maybe a couple little tiny ones, which I'm not worried about. But that came out really good. Great color. Like I said, I'll have some pictures on the end, maybe behind some white, so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, first one came out good. Second one. Assuming that these are all probably going to be fine. These usually always come out good. The only thing that worries me about is about the air going down through the center, but as long as it doesn't have air in the center of the bait right there, as long as there's no air pocket right there in the center, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm trying to focus this in there. There we go. As long as you don't see a little air pocket right there, you're usually pretty good. So anyway, so these came out great. 4 more. No air in the tails. Good. So, fantastic. And then we got one more set here. And I'm trying to make 24 of each. Oh, those came out perfect. So, we will take these out. I may move my camera at some point here again because I'm getting kind of irritated with the lighting. I put more lighting in this air box, but it seems to be not really doing much. There we go. But those came out great too. Might have like one air bubble on the tail. No, actually it's not. It's just a little bit of plastic. But those came out great too. So there's 12 of those done. Now the last one we'll do here is the core shot rub mold. I don't know if I had enough plastic to get these done or not. Let's see. It wants to fall the other way. Looks like we're good on those too. Those came out excellent. So these, again, those core shots, where the core shot would go would be this little thingy here. I'm not going to tell you what I think it looks like, but that's where the core shot would be. And I just leave them on the bait. I really don't really pay attention to them. Got a little bit of error in that one, but it's no big deal. Like I said, perfect though. The tails look awesome. The bodies are they're not translucent, so the bodies are what I expected them to come out as, like that thick color. And then the tails came out. Oh, actually, I found an air pocket in one of them. I lied. I guess I'll keep that one for myself. But anyway, so got a pretty good chunk out of those. So I got 6. Looks like we got a little bit of, didn't fill in all the way on that one. So I'm gonna keep whatever the bad ones are. So I'm just gonna make up a whole bunch more. So I'm gonna go ahead off camera and do a whole bunch more of these, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how many we did. Well, there you have it. I made roughly about 32 of the 607 swim baits, and I made roughly about 32 of the core shot grubs. They came out great. I had some issues with some air bubbles, but it wasn't too bad at all. I think what we'll do, I think I'm gonna use, I actually have some of that left over, and I think I'm gonna make something else with it. But I probably got about, I don't know, a cup and a half, I'd say, probably melted down. So I'm gonna use that for something else. And I've got an idea. I think I'm gonna make some cool swim baits with those. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thanks for watching again. We made a whole bunch of these core shot baits in the mermaid magic color. That's really what I was trying to do in this episode. And we did a bunch of the 607 swim baits, and we'll probably, like I said, stay tuned after this. I'll show you some better pictures of the color so you can see it better. I have a picture on my phone that came out great when the color was actually melted down in the cup, and it came out fantastic. I got to do a little bit better job, so I'm going to try to get some better lighting in here at some point so we can get some better pictures of some of these colors. Some come out great, and then some colors, like the hyper shifts, are really tough to see on the camera, so but unless you have really good quality lighting. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and remember, keep on baiting.